afternoon, everybody. As Chris said, I'm Jonathan Moore. I'm VP of Product Management here at AMAG, and I will be introducing everybody to a new segment that we have in these webinars, being a Did You Know section. So if we want to jump to the next slide, we can get started. But basically, this section is to discuss new and interesting features that we may have released recently. It can also be an opening for me to introduce you to features that maybe are buried in one of our products that I feel are particularly useful or have come up recently, and maybe everybody out there doesn't know about these features. So just going to touch on some new and interesting things that are going on here at AMAG. And today I'm focusing on a couple of things within our Connect and Guest identity and visitor management platforms. So very recently, we introduced into that product the ability to handle multiple languages. So we did the development to be able to support non-English languages, including what I term right-to-left languages. They're languages that don't necessarily go from left to right across the page. And why that's important is because the user interface has to be able to account for those languages that maybe go in a different direction or something like that. So very happy to say that this development is complete. Our hosted environment already contains English and Spanish at this point for both Connect and Guest. Each individual user can go into those products and select their sort of default or preferred language. So, just one user could be seeing the software in English and another user could be seeing that software in Spanish. And that's available in our hosted environment today. We are also working on a long list of additional languages that are available out. Some have already been released and other languages are shortly within the next month or two going to be released. Those are available in our on-premise versions today or in private cloud as well. So if you have any particular language requirements, please reach out to your local sales rep and let us know. But great new feature that's been added recently, and just wanted everybody to be aware. So let's jump to the next slide. So here's an example of some features that are available within the Guest Visitor Management solution that we've kind of been dripping these features into the product over the last year or so. And when you combine these features together, they produce a really powerful outcome that I thought I would talk about today. So what we're going to focus on today is temporary badge issuance within the product. So, Chris has been talking a little bit about return to work policies and people coming back to work. And I know if we start having more and more employees in the office, one of the things that they do is they forget their badge at home, right? Everybody's done it. You leave your badge behind. This is a very common problem that I've been to see a lot of our customers in person, and this always comes up as a challenge, as a problem for customers to deal with. Is, we have all these policies around access assignment and who gets what level of access, but if that person leaves their badge at home, that creates a problem of how do they actually get into these areas that they need to get to. So very happy to say that quite a while back, last year, we released, early last year, we released the temporary badge issuance feature within Symmetry Guest. So the way that this specific feature works is if somebody forgets their badge, they could go to the reception and the security officer or the user in reception would be able to essentially register the employee for a visit that's a temporary badge visit. So it's basically the employee's forgotten their badge and we're issuing them a new one. So they do that within the Guest application. And then what happens in the background is when they're issued a temporary badge, the Guest system goes into Symmetry Access Control and assigns that temporary badge to the actual employee. And that's important because that employee can then inherit all the access they already had. So if I assign it to you, the employee, whatever access is assigned to you gets assigned to the temporary badge too. So you get the same level of access. You don't just get through the front door or something like that. You can go into all the areas that you can normally go to. So that's very, very important. Another thing that it does automatically in the access control system is it shuts down your permanent badge. If that system's configured accordingly, we shut down the permanent badge, so there's no chance of that employee giving their badge to somebody else and now having two active badges. The system issues them a temporary badge with the same level of access they've always had, and then shuts down their permanent badge at the same time. So now that employee is free to go. They can go off and, see a temporary badge all day. And then at the end of the day, when they're either manually or automatically checked out, we reverse the whole thing. So now their permanent badge becomes active again and their temporary badge is removed. And what's also important here is all of this information is tracked. We can send their manager an email. We can put this in a report. So if somebody is constantly forgetting their badge, we have an audit trail of that, and we can address it in future. So with everybody coming back to work, I thought this was a great feature to talk about. Let's jump to the next slide, and I'll show you a couple of other features that, if you combine these together, make for a really powerful overall solution. So what I'm talking about here is that over the last year, we released, actually one feature was more than a year ago, but visit approvals is a feature that we've added recently, and automatic check-in is another feature that we've added recently. And then finally, the ability to store a visit pass or credential within a mobile phone, within the digital wallet on that phone that you see there, creates an overall, provides you the ability to produce a workflow that's very, very powerful. So let me explain. So if I'm an employee and I forget my badge, but I still have access to the guest system, if I have my laptop or my phone with me, what I could do in this situation is I could register myself for a temporary badge within the guest system. That can automatically go for approval via the visit approval feature. So that could go to my boss, that could go to security, could go to both my boss and security. They could approve, oh, Jonathan forgot his badge again, and they could approve that. And basically at that point, I could get a pass that works on a QR code reader that I can add to my wallet that you see there. And I could also be automatically checked in by the system. So I don't even have to go and see anybody at the front desk or anything. I get issued this digital pass with same level of access as before. My permanent badge is shut down and it's all handled. Everybody gets the information they need. I'm not jumping through and skipping any steps here, but I've got a completely seamless temporary badge that was issued to me. Now, with the pass that I'm showing there, you would need a QR code reader. So it isn't identical in terms of physical code, but if you didn't want to use the QR code reader, this person could also go and get a badge issued at the front desk. So combining visit approvals with our automatic check-in feature and the digital pass that you see in that mobile wallet, along with that temporary badge feature, gives you a really complex but powerful workflow that's automated through that guest system. So that was our Did You Know section for today. I hope everybody enjoyed it and found it interesting.